Vidya, now let's understand the new format of the same type of questions. Directions are: read each sentence to find out whether there is any grammatical error or idiomatic error in it. The error, if any, will be in one part of the sentence. The number of that part is the answer. If there is no error, the answer is 5. Ignore errors of punctuation if any. Your first question is: the couple's work in Part 1, Upgrading Rural Technicians Part 2, has set a benchmarking Part 3, for future generations Part 4, no error Part 5. Try this, Vidya.
Ma'am, here the subject is the couple's work. The adjective phrase is in upgrading rural technicians. The verb is has set. The object is a benchmarking. And the adverb phrase is for future generations. But where is the error?
Vidya, when we set the lowest acceptable standard of excellence for something, we can be said to have set a benchmark for it, not a benchmarking for it. And hence, option 3 is the right choice.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, see the next question. This group of Part 1, Rural Achievers, is very Part 2, different than the Part 3, Once in the Past, Part 4, No Error, Part 5.
Ma'am, here the subject is this group of rural achievers. The verb is. And the rest of the predicate is very different than the ones in the past. I know the conjunction than implies that there must be a comparative degree adjective present in the sentence. But here it only says very different, which is not a comparative. The comparative would have been more different. And in this case, we would have gone ahead with than. And the point to remember is that one can be different from the others, not than the others.
Very good, Vidya. You are right. So the option number 3 is the right choice. Here is your next question. The government has announced Part 1, plans to creating. Part 2, 1 million new. Part 3, training places. Part 4, no error. Part 5. Try this, Vidya.
Ma'am, in this sentence, the subject is the government. The verb is has announced. The object is plans, and the infinitive phrase is to creating 1 million new training places. Ma'am, it is obvious that the correct infinitive phrase will be to create, not to creating. And in order to retain the word creating, we will have to say plans for creating. So option number 2 is the right choice.
Correct, Vidya. Here is your next question. The argument assumes that Part 1, early detection of the disease, Part 2, will lead to an immediate drop in Part 3, the mortality rating from this disease, Part 4, no error, Part 5. Vidya, here the subject is the argument. The verb is assumes. The conjunction is that, and the clause is early detection of the disease will lead to an immediate drop in the mortality rating from this disease. Vidya, the frequency with which people die is called the death rate or mortality rate, not mortality rating. And hence option 4 is the right choice. Got it, Vidya?
Yes, ma'am.